Hello and welcome to Live Your Dream TV. My name is Tara Carbo and I will be your host today. We are here at the Perfect World Network office and I am with a very helpful lady today. She's taught me a lot about trademarks and some necessary things we all should have for our businesses to keep them safe. I'd like to introduce you to Ruth Mae Finch of the law firm of Finch & Associates, yes?
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming to the show. Oh, it's my pleasure, and the information we're going to share today is very important for people, so I'm glad that you were able to take time out. Wonderful. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the kind of attorney you are and what that includes.
Thank you. I'm actually an intellectual property attorney, and I help businesses protect their trademarks and their copyrights, and I have associates that also work with patents. And quite often people don't realize how important their intellectual property is.
Right.
And they try to do it themselves sometimes.
Yeah, I've done that.
And then they end up coming to me when it's sort of a little bit botched up sometimes. And I try to get it all straightened out and help them so that they can protect their name and their creative expression of their ideas through artwork and things, and also the products that they develop.
Wonderful. And how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for 33 years. I was also a prosecutor in Baltimore City for 11 years of that 33, but I was also working with my father, Walter G. Finch, who was a well-known patent attorney in Baltimore City at Johns Hopkins, and he had his own practice.
Oh, wonderful. So then that's what led you into this business?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. I hope my children follow in my footsteps and do what I want them to do.
It's nice.
That's very nice. I've owned, several small businesses over my adult career, and we've played in the water of protecting the things that we thought were very important to us. And so I think it's such a gray area, and you're not sure what's important, and you're not sure what to spend your money on. So can you tell us a little bit about, your perspective with small business owners?
Well, I think the most important thing for a business owner, if they're going to stay in business for any length of time, is certainly their brand or their trademark. And the reason for that is because they spend hundreds of hours developing their name and their business, and quite often their products under a particular name, only to find out that they receive a cease and desist letter from someone that has a registered trademark and tells them to stop using it or they will be sued.
Yeah,
in
and
federal
then to
court.
Just start all over under a totally different name would be like starting from scratch.
Trademark ownership is based on who uses it first in a particular territory.
Okay.
So you could be using it in Maryland and you want to expand across the country someday.
Okay.
But someone else in the meantime comes in and registers the same brand for the exact same goods or services, and they can stop you from expanding outside of the area that you were in.
So you might not be able to do business in California or something like that. Okay, so that's always been a little confusing for me. You've got your patents, your trademarks, your copyrights. Like, can you just give a brief description of what those three things are, how are they different?
Well, I guess I like to say that trademarks are, most people think of them as brands today.
Okay.
But trademarks are actually the source identifier of a business, so that you know all your goods or services or both come from the same exact source. Then there's something that's called a copyright, and it's actually the expression of the idea.
Okay.
Such as a photograph. You could take the very same picture from a different angle, but you created that. That's your copyright. And the other person that did the first photograph, they also had that copyright. So, but a lot of people create their own artwork and their own architectural pictures and things like that.
Okay.
And then, so that's just the creative expression of the idea.
Okay, so a copyright is the creative expression of an idea, and the actual original image is the trademark.
Well,
right?
On a logo.
Okay.
On a logo, I mean, a lot of trademarks don't have any images; they're just words.
Okay.
And they can also be a sound when you watch the TV commercials and you hear the sounds of CBS and all these other companies. You realize that you can also protect the sound. And when that CNN comes on, who CNN is, you don't even have to look at any words.
That's true. Okay, so you have to protect that too.
Then the patent is actually the protection of the idea itself.
Okay. Okay.
And, you know, if you have a washing machine or something like that that has a certain, that's new and it's a new invention, you're actually protecting certain specifications that you use to make that product or that biological element.
Okay, so let's say I have a new business. I have lots of things to pay for, lots of things to do. When do you advise in the process of my growth, do I spend the money on protecting my, getting my trademarks and copyrights?
Well, I think you should do it as soon as you can.
Okay.
And I realize that there's financial issues that are involved in starting a new business. But it's very important. If you believe you want to continue to grow, you spend hundreds of hours developing your name or your logo, and people get to know you under a certain name. And if you have to change that because you get a cease and desist letter, you've wasted months possibly.
Okay.
It's not just changing and you might have to change all your brochures. You might even have to give a registered trademark owner your domain name if they have a registered trademark that is confusingly similar to yours, and that's the test for trademark infringement. And I've sent many letters like that.
Okay.
And usually people will stop right away. And while people realize that that it might cost them a couple $1,000s or something to get a trademark, when they realize that they can come back to me with the registered trademark and say, send a cease and desist letter to that business because they're trying to confuse my customers into buying from them. And I send them a cease and desist letter, usually they go away very quickly.
So not only are you going to be speaking and educating at the Women's Expo, and which days are you going to do that?
I'm going to be, I believe it's 2 o'clock on Thursday.
Okay, so you're going to be speaking for the Women's Expo conference on Thursday at 2 o'clock. That'll be a really good thing.
Don't hold me to that.
Okay,
it might be
somewhere
12,
around somewhere on Thursday. But you've developed a program. Tell us a little bit about your program and what you have in mind for helping us learn what we need to do and how to get it done maybe less expensively and more quickly.
What we ought to do is develop a workshop where people can come and bring their laptops, and we can do searches, a hand-on search in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office.
Right there in the meeting.
In the workshop.
Great.
And then if your mark is available to use, or if it isn't, you choose a new one.
Right, okay.
That they would come back a week or two later and we would actually go through the whole process of filing a trademark application so that they would understand and they would save themselves quite a bit of money by learning this process.
Great.
And for future endeavors as well, they'll know how to do it.
Okay, that's awesome. So when do you see that? I mean, I know it's just a new idea, and when do you see that starting up?
Well, I have to say, we just came up with this idea a few weeks ago.
Yeah, the meeting wasn't too long ago, but I think that we can get that up and going by, spring.
Well, I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to April or May, somewhere in there.
Okay, good.
And, and I'm thinking around $400 to go through the workshop to come back and do both weeks.
Okay, don't quote us on that. Might change. Okay, wonderful. So for us to get a hold of you, see when the workshops are going to start, see what's going on with you, and how to get in touch with you, how do the viewers contact you?
My website is finchmark.com.
finchmark.com. Great. Can you give us the question of the day?
Well, I think the most important that everyone has to ask themselves is, how much is your name or your logo worth to you? Because you definitely don't want to spend a lot of time and money developing that. So think about that, because it's very important.
Yeah. And we'll never know until it's really an emotional thing for us and someone takes it away from us and we have to start all over again. So let's not go through that. Okay, guys, well, thanks. Let's leave your comments down here at the bottom and interact a little bit. And together, we hope that we can help one more person go out there and live their dream. See you tomorrow.